Hello everyone, it is me, the X-Swift, and today we're doing What If Belle was Springtrap Part 2. Oh, I am back in this damn place. Please. Springtrap woke up from his dream, or from the place he was. The moment he opened his eyes, he just sees a little mini versions of him. They all just say this word, all of them, like, Daddy, and he's like, what the fuck? As he begins getting up, he's like, so, how this thing has been. As they both, one of them, tells him that they clean, the entire place up. And Springtrap's like, I thought it would take, a couple of hours, but you guys, just a couple of days, but you did it in a couple of hours? As all the little bunnies look at, as all the little plush traps look at each other like, Dad, you've been out for about 3 days. And Springtrap's like, 3 days? But, I guess time's different there. Yeah, doesn't matter. Why do every time I start videos, a comment fucking pops up? I don't know, but wherever you are, you're lucky. Anyway, as Springtrap begins, getting up from his spot, as he opens the door, he just sees the entire place clean. Well, for some spots, just some of them were holes in the walls and some in the roof. Springtrap's like, well, this will do. Anyway, you guys are, what are you again? As little spring bunnies are like, plush trap. As Belle or Springtrap, or no, I'm gonna call him Belle. But okay, Springtrap for now. As he begins great. As he gets up from it, as he begins looking around, seeing if there's anything. He tries to look. He begins cleaning up cleaning some debris where the plush traps are having a hard time with, because they can remove it. As he was moving it, he finds a peculiar thing. He finds a suit. Unfortunately, I do not have the suit at this very moment, but I'll get one later. Let me just get you something. Oh, I have it here. I have it here, I swear. Give me a minute. God damn it. God damn it, I can't find it. We'll just say like this, for now. Oh, I said something stupid. Anyway. Fuck. There you go. Springtrap finds that outfit and puts it on. It's like, huh, this hoodie is pretty good. Whoever left it here must be an idiot. It never seems to be clean. I wonder who left us here. As Springtrap begins killing more of the rubble, he finds a phone, but more like an iPhone 5. He looks at it and begins looking at it very closely. It's like, what is this? As one of the plush traps actually walks up to him and says, "Ooh, that's a phone." As Springtrap's like, a phone? He knows what a phone is, but this is the phone nowadays? As little plush trap begins explaining about how it works, as Springtrap's more intrigued, or Belle is. As he begins puts it in his animatronic, or in the pocket of the clothes of the owner. He then begins to say that, okay, I cleared out the large pieces of debris. Now you guys can clear out this pile. I'll go to the what's left of the goddamn security office. It's a really old down, rundown pizzeria. It's the one from Gary's Mod, I guess, but anywho, as he begins looking through what was left of the security room, he finds a drawer, and he opens it. It's like, what's this? As he begins reading this document, and it's a bit old, and the paper's a bit worn out, but still readable. He begins reading through what's left of the pages, and it says, William, the Immortality Project. As Bell's like, immortality. He begins scratching his animatronic chin, in curiosity, so, someone successfully got immortality. As he then thinks about it, he looks very closely and reads who thought of the theory. And the creator was William Afton. And all of a sudden, it hit Springtrap, or Bell. All the pain he went through was just an experiment. And even the children were just a setup for him. As Bell puts his hand on his head, he laughs. He begins laughing maniacally. He's like, yeah, so that bastard tricked me. That was just a damn experiment. Next time I won't be so careless. God damn it. My voice box is still broken. As Springtrap's as Bo begins saying in his mind, I need a new voice box. I could repair mine, but that's risky. This model's so old that they don't even make the voice boxes anymore. I'm also guessing since animatronics have been around for a very long time, or these kind of models, this one was really outdated. So I have to try my best to keep it much maintenance as I have on it. As he begins about to leave, he actually bumps into something, or his foot does. As he looks to the ground, he sees a toolbox, and Bell realizes that this toolbox is the one that he used back then, but he forgot where he put it. Or not. He just wait a minute. He picks it up and he looks at the name oh, God damn it. I thought this was my toolbox. How he lost his toolbox is, he left it in his truck, and when the truck got towed, someone stole the tools, and he's been pissed ever since. And he was, you know what? He's still looking for that fucking bastard who took his tools to this day still. As he begins Jacob Riker? That's a stupid name. As he puts the toolbox on the desk of what was left of the security office, the old desk, obviously, as he begins to open it, and he finds parts for himself. However, some of the parts are a bit more worn out, but with the broken pieces that he has in him, he can probably salvage some of these parts and rebuild them at least. The one thing that was really good for him was a voice box that was undamaged. However, it was missing some components a little. So Bill then proceeds to like go into his chest and remove his voice carefully as he can. Even though that his body's still like there's like his corpse is still there, his corpse can still feel the pain for some reason. Even though his whole body was completely broken and decayed at a rapid rate, he still doesn't know why he could still feel the pain. But anyway, as he then begins to put the voice box that was broken and begin disassembling it, as one of the many spring traps, plush traps, actually walks in and asks and tells him that they're done cleaning it. As Bill looks at him and gives him the thumbs up, the spring trap smiles and goes back to tell his brothers and sister. I don't know if they're sisters. I'm thinking they're all boys, but if you guys want them to be, I don't fucking know. As he begins telling all the other plush chaps that their dad's proud of them, their dad's like working on something. 2 hours later, Bill in his mind's like, finally got this voice box fully repaired. Well, at least I'll be able to talk normally. Man, I've been talking that static voice for so long, just gotten used to it. Never thought I'd be able to repair my voice. As then Bill begins grabbing the voice box and putting it back inside of him with the new one, where it was. As he begins screwing it in, and then the little cable connects it, he feels a whole surge, a jolt throughout his body. And he drops the clamps, or the, what was it? I'm gonna call it tweezers because I can't remember the name, but onto the floor. He's like, damn it. Why did that hurt so much? As Bill's like, I'm talking normal. I'm talking fine. Looks like the voice box worked. Wait, let me just try this. Howdy do. It works. Hell yeah. However, why is my voice so quiet? As he begins to inspect the voice box inside of him, he notices that he tweaked it a little too much. So he tweaks it a little less, and he's like, okay, is this good? Is this good? God, yeah, well, looks like that voice is pretty annoying, but this will do. At least I don't have the echo anymore, glitch. As he begins like cleaning up the workplace, because there was like a bunch of oil spilled everywhere because there was oil and like burn marks on over the floor on the table, and he begins like covering himself up. As Springtrap gets up, he sees the security door. It's like, this door's probably so worn out, probably won't even work. As he presses the button, the door closes. As Bill's surprised, like, what? I thought the power went out here years ago. As he begins like opening and closing it, repeatedly, like, okay. And the door is open, by the way. So the power here is still fine. Just why is the rest of this place doesn't have any power? As then he begins trying to remember back at his past. Like, as he heard one of the workers say that they had to seal the generator because because kids kept going to the generator room, and they had to make a secret door. And Bill's like, God, I'm such an idiot. I totally forgot. They made a hidden door. And the spare parts. God damn it. As Bell begins, like, getting up from his chair and pushing it back into the desk, he begins walking around. I'm gonna say about, he has, I don't know how many fucking plush traps he has, so I can't remember, so I'm gonna guess, in evil eyes, I'm guessing he has about, like, 16. I'm saying 16. As he begins walking downstairs, he looks at downstairs and he just sees, not walking downstairs, he begins looking around the spare parts and service room where, like, the Nintendo Switch is. It's still on the table, but he decides to put it somewhere safe. He puts it in his, well, what was a backpack. What is still a backpack, but he puts it in there for safekeeping. He'd been inspecting the wall, and then he finds a pattern. He hits one of the tiles on the wall, and when he presses, a hidden door opens up, revealing a generator, a new room. As he begins walking down, Bell begins suspecting that the generator, like, surprised this thing's still even running after all these years. So Bell begins expecting, like, oh, I see. The reason why his power does not have any, most of the building doesn't have any power is because some of the cables have been yanked off. That's just, as Bell plugs in the wires, the place begins having some power. But some of the light bulbs are broken, so some of them did not work. As Bell was about to head up, he looks to the corner and he just sees an animatronic endoskeleton. As Bell is like, "Are you kidding me?" As he begins inspecting it, very, very thoroughly, he's like, "What do you know? It looks like we have at least, what's this model named?" As he begins inspecting the model, because all models have a name tag on them, he finds a name tag on it. It is model F0X. F0X. Why? Question mark? No, never mind. No model name yet, but he finds others there as well, but their other endoskeletons are completely worn down. And he's like, huh, looks like some of these endoskeletons couldn't handle the time period. However, this one was it's pretty good, pretty much in good condition. As he begins looking at it thoroughly, he takes it upstairs and puts it on the table. He tells all his apparently children, he's calling them. It was there for him to say that. "Okay, kids, since everything's in order, I have a task for all of you." As all of them are waiting for the task, Bell tells them to, "Okay, I want you to find anything that is like a toolbox like this. If you find any documents, like, nearby or just hidden, make sure you tell me. Also, here." He gives them, oh, never mind. He just tells them, like, to just have fun and do whatever they want for now. As he closes the door, he looks at the endoskeleton and he cracks his knuckles. Or he stretches his fingers and cracks them, like, well, time to get to work. How long has this video been going on for? Okay, I can go for a few more minutes. As Springtrap begins going around repairing it, or how should I say, salvaging what is left of it. Took him about 5 hours, but he manages. Finally, Jesus. That took so long to salvage this entire thing. Now, what do we have here? As he pulls out a little chip, and he reads it thoroughly. And you haven't seen this kind of chip before. Must be a new model then. He inspects it, so he puts it into himself and sees what happens. Then, when he does this, all of a sudden his whole body stopped moving for about 3 minutes, and all of a sudden he can move again. He's like, what the hell? Can move for 3 minutes. Wow. As he begins walking, he feels a bit more his systems feel a bit more improved. It was like he got an upgrade. His body was a bit more faster and a bit more maneuverable. AKA, he got an update because this model has an update, unlike the old springtrap suit that I have the updates because he forgot it. Anyway, I'm ending it here. Sorry, I'm just really tired today, so I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did not, I'm terribly sorry. I'll make part 3 very soon. You know what? Fuck it. We're making this longer. So, yeah, let's do this. That's better. As Bell begins, wondering what happened, and he just remembered, oh, god damn it. I totally forgot. These models also got the update, unlike this model. No wonder I was having such a hard time maneuvering in this goddamn body. At least I got my body is a bit more improved. As Springtrap begins seeing what else he could salvage from it, he then begins dismounting this robot and putting the parts inside of him. When he was doing this, he had to remove some of his flesh. It was very painful, but even though the flesh is dead, it was dead for 30 years, it somehow maintained its feeling. And even when Bell was installing the new parts into it, the flesh begun transforming into some type of very light, really not thick, just really small wire. And it was going through the wires of the new leg. As Bell just got done replacing his leg entirely because the leg was fucked to begin with, he had to literally drag that bitch sometimes, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. As he jumps off the table, begins tapping his foot, finally, I can move my left leg properly. I'm surprised this model still survived, but at least I got a leg that's fully functional. Now for the right one. Oh, this is gonna hurt a lot. As then he begins dismantling it, and it's painful again. As he gets his 2 legs operational and working, his legs are fully fixed. However, he does notice that he already knows that his whole endoskeleton or his whole costume's broken apart. And there's no replacing that model because the spare pieces for that are long time gone. But that doesn't mean he can fill them in, or he can try his best at least. As he begins As he's like exhausted, even though his body should not feel his pain. Like, there you go. As he just was so relieved that they worked out properly. Oh. And then he hears something knocking. He's like, huh? What's this? As he gets up, he notices one thing. He's like taller. Like 1 centimeter taller. Like, must be taller because of these new parts. As he then he opens the door, and then he looks down and just sees one of the plush traps holding something. And to his surprise, it was an animatronic finger. As Springtrap kneels down and says, "Good job, little one." As Springtrap begins expecting this finger. This is definitely a Freddy part. However, as he begins examining the finger thoroughly, god damn it, he finds that this piece has been cut off. As then he says, "Where'd you find this?" The little plush trap says, "We found that over there, but you won't be able to fit." As he looks at the another room that's completely collapsed and sees a hole, only for a little plush trap to move in. As Springtrap's like, I just got a bit taller, so god damn it. So he says he's actually asked his little plush trap of what is it? What animatronic did it come from? The little bunny been describing it. It looked like him but purple. Also, there are others there, but all the other ones are completely disassembled, except for the purple one, missing a face and an arm. As Springtrap's like, did it move by any chance? As the little plush trap says, as shakes his head like, no, it did not move. As Springtrap's like felt relief because he did not want to have to deal with another animatronic like another lost soul, because he would probably be the only adult there. But yeah. As then he begins like, well, let's try out these new legs. As he looks at the rubble, he begins lifting it and pushing some of it away, barely. However, he did make a little tight like curve for him, just enough for him to squeeze by. As he gets in there, it's completely dark. But luckily for him, the backpack had a flashlight, which he brought. As he turns on the flashlight, he was kind of at awe and shocked. He saw the old animatronics from when the old animatronics, the improved one, the Freddy crew, Freddy Fazbear's. And he was pretty surprised that they were here. He thought that since they were disassembled long ago, he thought that they were completely like destroyed and melted. So he begins like seeing what could be salvaged. And to his surprise, nothing much, unfortunately, except for the bunny suit, which was completely missing an arm and a face, but his eyes sensors were still operational. First, Springtrap begins grabbing the withered Bonnie's broken down body. As he begins pulling it, and for some reason, the thing for some reason, when Springtrap was halfway there, all of a sudden Springtrap felt a huge headache, and all of a sudden, when Bill opened his eyes, he saw the animatronic moving, but mimicking him. As he begins moving around, but he notices that the thing tries to imitate his other arm, which the robot's missing. And he's like, oh, what was that model's name again? Prototype test? I can't remember. And it's mimicking him as well. So he thought, if it's mimicking him, then he begins concentrating really, really hard, and all of a sudden, he can see through this animatronic's eyes, as if he's just controlling it. As this is really, really interesting to Bell, that he's able to control this old model. Whatever that chip is, must be something that can control animatronics. As he begins testing, it's a theory of his. Since this is an improved model, it has far superior strength to even Springtrap. Even though that he's old, he still can punch out a wall and crush someone's head. However, unlike him, these models are a bit more stronger and a bit more durable than him, unfortunately. As he's now in control of Withered Bonnie, he goes to the entrance and wonders how strong this bunny is. He puts his hand on the rubble that's completely that has a curve to it, moves it out of the way with ease, which surprised him, because even he would have a hard time pushing that. As Springtrap opens his eyes and just feels so exhausted, all of a sudden you could hear a clank sound behind him, and he knew what it was. As he turned around, he just saw Withered Bonnie on the ground, motionless, immobilized. He begins grabbing Withered Bonnie and dragging him to the security office, and then Bell then proceeds to tell his children that, in case if he's not back, then they could have I don't know, watch this guy or whatever, just try to make maintenance on him, which really got the bunnies excited. However, Springtrap told him they told him that he does not have the parts to get him a new face or new arm, but his plush traps did not mind, because this made him even more with Bonnie more scarier, which kind of made Bell smirk a bit. So Bell then proceeds to work on Withered Bonnie, and that's where it could be to be continued. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Goodbye.